Hello, this is Geometry, Topic 1-1. This is just a review of area. So all this stuff is stuff that's been covered in previous years. You can look it right up on the formula chart if you can't remember how to do it. Let's go ahead and find the area of a square with a perimeter of 48. So that means I have a square, all four sides are equal, and the perimeter is 48. Well, in order to find the area, I need to know the length of a side. So if I do 48 and I divide that by 4, I get 12. So each side is worth 12. And the area of a rectangle is the length times the width. So we'll do 12 times 12, and we get 144. It's 144 units. Let's go ahead and look at example number 2. When we find the area of this rectangle, now again I need to know length and width, so this is x. In order to find x, I need to use Pythagorean theorem. And so x squared plus 8 squared equals 17 squared. If I subtract 8 squared, I get that x squared equals 17 squared minus 8 squared is 225. If I take the square root of 225, I get that x equals 15. So I need to do 15 times 8 to find the area. And I get that the area is 120. And again, it didn't tell me what kind of units, so I'm just going to put 120 with no units after it. We go ahead and take a look at example number 3. Here we have a parallelogram, and the same thing. It's the area of the base is the length of the base times the height. Well, this is 15, and we need to figure out what our height is. Well, this is a 30-degree angle. And so using special features of a 30, 60, 90, if this is 12, then this would be 6. And this would be 6 on the square root of 3. Because on a 30, 60, 90 triangle, it is x on the square root of 3, and 2x. So 12, 6 on the square root of 3. So to find the area, we'll do 15 times 6 on the square root of 3. And 15 times 6 equals 90. So our answer is 90 on the square root of 3. Now, I will go ahead and accept it if you put in the square root of 3 and you take it to 2 or 3 decimal places. However, this is the most accurate answer, and I would prefer that your answer be in this form. Let's go ahead and move on to example number 4. We want to find the area of this triangle. Well, the area of a triangle is base times height over 2. So I need to figure out what my base is. So, Pythagorean theorem, A, B, and C. So 5 squared plus B squared equals 13 squared. If I subtract 5 squared from both sides, I get that B squared equals 144. When I take the square root, I get that B equals 12. So I'm going to do 12 times 5 over 2, which is the same as 6 times 5, which is 30. Now, hopefully I'm not confusing you by doing this method. I'm actually literally typing in 13 squared minus 5 squared to get 144. That's what I did right here. So hopefully I'm not losing you at that. If you need to break it into more steps, feel free to do so. Moving on to example number 5. We're going to find the area of this triangle. Well, this triangle is a little more difficult. We need the height of our triangle in order to find the area. Well, it's equilateral, which means that this is 60. That forms a right angle, which means that this is 30. So, going off of the rules of 30, 60, 90 triangles, we have x on the square root of 3, and 2x. If this is 8, that means that this is 4, which means that this is 4 on the square root of 3. Now the whole base is not 4, the whole base would be 8. So BH over 2 means that we need to do 8 times 4 on the square root of 3 all over 2, which gives us 16 on the square root of 3. 8 times 4 is 32 divided by 2 gives us the 16, in case you're wondering where I got that from. Moving on to example number 6. Here we want to find the area of the rhombus below. Well, cool thing about rhombi is that all of the intersections in the middle are right angles. So that means that this is 3, this is 5, and I need to figure out what this is. So A, B, and C. 3 squared plus B squared equals 5 squared. Subtract 3 squared on both sides, I get that B squared equals 16. Take the square root, and I get that B equals 4. Well, now you're wondering, this is 3, this is 4, how in the world am I going to find the area? Well, luckily, the area of a rhombus can be written as D1, D2, all over 2. So, diagonal 1 would be 3 plus 3, makes 6. 4 plus 4 makes 8, divided by 2. 6 times 8 divided by 2 is 24. Moving on to example number 7. An isosceles trapezoid has legs that measure 10 centimeters and bases of 12 and 2. So an isosceles trapezoid the legs are 10, the bases are 12 and 2, and the base angles are 60. We're going to find the height and the area of the trapezoid. Well, the height is easy enough to find. If this is 60, that means that this little piece is 5, which means that the height is 5 on the square root of 3. So the height is 5 on the square root of 3. Now the area of a trapezoid is B1 plus B2 all over 2 times H. So we put 2 plus 12 over 2 times 5 on the square root of 3. Well, 14 over 2 is 7 times 5 on the square root of 3, which is 35 on the square root of 3. And now for problem number 8. Well, they didn't give us B1 or B2. However, they gave us what we call the median. And this median equals B1 plus B2 over 2. So because this equals 18, we can just do 18 times 6, and we get 108. So, like I said, this is mostly just pulling formulas off of the chart. However, you do have to remember different things that we've talked about in order to find the information you need. We've talked about 30, 60, 90 triangles. We've talked about right triangles. Um, and just some knowledge about trapezoids and rhombi that are things that you might not remember from junior high. Good luck on this assignment. If you need help, please ask for it. Have a good day.